What's up, everybody? Galactic Tribe Podcast, ATO Ace the Outsider here. And yeah, we were gone for a little bit. Now I'm glad to be back. Had to do a lot of writing, a lot of grant writing, a lot of corporate stuff to keep the things running. But you know, that period is done. Yeah. Cash rules. And it's a Woo Wednesday. So shout out to that as well. Lelouche, how you feeling, brother?
I'm pretty good, man. This week has been going by pretty quick. I wasn't expecting this random storm that we just are currently getting hit with, but besides that, it's been a pretty good week, man.
We've had a couple storms since well, not storms, but just like a couple of geographical anomalies that have happened. Yeah, just
what the was that earthquake, right?
Yes, and now I got to edit out that FYM because you forgot what show you're on.
Right. Too many shows. I'm sorry.
Too many shows. It's all right. No, it's right at the beginning. No, I can take it out. I can take it out. And then, sorry, we'll come up with like a real funny sound for it. Maybe like a toot or something. Well, now that you know the ground rules,
we just throw in the sound of M'Baku getting punched by Namor. That's the sound that covers. Yeah.
That was a deep sound too.
We probably have to censor that too. Shit, honestly.
We got a special guest in the building today, all the way from GA, our brother Charlie. What's going on, brother?
Hey, I'm doing splendiferous, my brother. I wish my week was going by as fast as Otis's, but it's getting there. Friday can't come fast enough.
Yeah, man. Wednesdays. I noticed a lot of people working out on my feed. Just like a lot of people, you know, sticking to the routine or starting their routine. So I was pretty interested in seeing that. I was doing my leg workout here. I got online. It seemed like every other person I scrolled by was doing some workouts. So shout out to y'all if y'all listen to this podcast. And if you don't, then maybe this is a sign that you should get your butt in the gym and you know, do some, or not in the gym, work out at home. I got an app that I was using, so you know,
because I mean, January didn't count. If you still want to do your new year, new you, new body, go ahead, hit the gym. It's okay.
Why not? It's never too late. Still got to get Lelouche in the building for some capoeira, so that should be fun. Yeah.
Good knees.
You ever seen capoeira up close? Either one of y'all?
Never up close. No.
Never up close. The closest I've gotten to it was seeing people getting kicked by Eddie Gordo. But I mean, I definitely want to.
What'd you say, Charlie?
I said I like my teeth in my mouth.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know if you like part of our audience watching it. That's what I was referring to.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm just trolling.
It's definitely a vibe in person. So soon, very soon. So today on the Galactic Tribe, we are talking about a number of things. Top of the list is KANG-Mania, the official new name for Ant-Man Quantumania is KANG-Mania. At least in this house it is. So we're going to talk about that film a bit. We're going to talk about we got an event this Saturday. Hopefully this podcast might be released next week, but we are doing a youth panel on this Saturday, the 25th. And so we'll be talking about that, what all that entails. And then next month, Women's History Month, we got a couple things lined up, including our second or third. This is our second convention that we've officially been at. So I'm really excited about that. I know you are all too. So yeah, let's jump into it. So Lelouche, you want to introduce the film?
Oh yeah. So I guess for most people, this film that we're talking about is called Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumania. But like my partner over here said, it is KANG-Mania. I went to see that movie for Kang. That was supposed to be his movie, and the fact that he didn't win is upsetting to me. But besides that, you know what I'm saying, I guess the movie was tolerable. There's been a lot of mixed reception on it. Like, I mean, the critical score for it on Rotten Tomatoes is like where I score the movie, and then the audience scores where everybody else scores it, I guess.
Okay.
But I mean, we saw it together, so I know a bit of how you feel about it. What do you think about it, Charlie? I know we talked about it on Then and Now, but let's get to the real, like, non-spoiler. What you thinking about the movie, Brady?
It was solid for me. Most of the issues I saw was in the editing. Like if you watch the movie for like the first third, they cut stuff really awkwardly, like at the beginning and stuff, and the pacing of it was really off that way. You could tell that the green screen, like for me, a lot of the issues I saw was in post production. Obviously, there was some acting stuff here and there, but I think most of that too came from the writing because some of the lines were really awkward and kind of cringy outside of the Kang stuff. But yeah, edits, the cuts were really bad. Like I'm not the guy to say that I can do things better than professionals, but in this case, those cuts were really bad. I honestly believe I could have done better on those.
You gotta think about it, right? You're like, wait a minute, I wouldn't cut that there. I would let that drag out just like a little bit longer to make sure that punch connects or that follow through or whatever transition. Yeah,
that's $1 million film. Somebody got paid to do that.
Multi-million-dollar film.
Big bucks.
I think the budget for it was just not even for the just the marketing, but the movie itself cost them about like 125 mil.
Lord.
So like, yeah, that's the best you can come up with after. I mean, so one thing, did this movie feel like a Star Wars movie to y'all? Like it felt like a light Star Wars one to me. Like,
is it because of the family drama or was it something else?
So because of the scenery, how they kind of push the sci-fi a bit heavy, the different environments, the different alien races. It felt like I mean not in a good way. It didn't feel like a good version of Star Wars. It felt like third trilogy Star Wars.
I gotcha. Yeah.
So some of the better parts. The movies weren't good either. I'm a Star Wars fan.
Third trilogy is the worst trilogy to me. So that's why I was comparing it to that.
Okay, that's the better part. We'll get into that later. My bad.
It was a bit campy, which I can kind of expect from the Ant-Man and the Wasp movies. Like just Ant-Man movies in general have always been like a bit campy and light. So it was hard for them to mix the dark aspect of it, which is Kang trying to escape so he can bring on a multiversal genocide. So and then with the aliens and stuff, I'm not too bothered by that. Like I guess they kind of had to have the silly alien, the one that was trying to put the goo in people's mouths. Like that was kind of hilarious to me. And just like the variety of different characters. So in a way, it did feel like some Star Wars stuff, but third trilogy, yeah.
So for me, those were the parts I actually enjoyed more. I enjoyed the world building he tried to do.
Yeah.
Most of the issues I had was like the script writing when it came to the dynamic between the Pym family they tried to run. Like it that was supposed to be his daughter, but if like the line delivery, part of that too could be the fact that they're all on green screen. So you can kind of tell that like outside of Paul Rudd and Jonathan Majors, nobody else felt comfortable inside of that green screen like that. Like they're delivering lines with each other and stuff felt kind of awkward.
Okay.
Which for me personally, I know Otis hates to do, but I think Paul Rudd is the second best, like right behind Jonathan Majors. I think everybody else was really awkward in their line delivery. I don't think that was really more indicative of their acting ability as far as again post-production stuff, like or how the director had them stand or act. It was, when you had that much CG going on, it just felt really awkward for me personally.
Okay.
Because the whole movie, I think 90% of the movie is in CG pretty much because you're in a whole alien world, so you're probably not within your normal element as an actor, most likely.
Did you see it in 2D or 3D or quadruple
2D.
D? Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, so did we. Yeah, I didn't look too much at the special effects. I don't know if I don't have an eye for it. Like sometimes I can catch it, other times I'm just like whatever. So yeah, that's
I watched it a second time and I edited a lot of stuff and watched a lot of videos on the techniques and whatever else.
Yeah.
Not saying I'm an expert at all, but just
right.
My rudimentary understanding of it. It's really odd if you were to look at the set, what they look like.
Yeah, blurs in certain places and other stuff that just kind of artifacts and whatnot. Nah, I feel you on that.
I mean, I don't have the eye for stuff like that Charlie does, but my issue was more so on the performances too. Like, I mean, it felt like the only people that really brought it for this movie were John Majors, Bill Murray with his character. I mean, I won't. I mean, he was Bill Murray. Bill Murray was doing Bill Murray things and dropping Bill Murray jokes. That's what I expect from him. But beyond that, like I can't think of anybody's performance that was like, man, like I enjoyed seeing you, except for the mind reader dude. He was hilarious. He was
yeah,
funny.
Yeah,
Pretty
I
yeah.
good place.
will not knock that at all.
Yeah,
Like
my lady calls him by his name on the Good Place, which
yeah,
is Cheaty.
Chide. No, Sheedy. Yeah,
TD.
Sheedy. I'm
Cheaty,
sorry.
yeah,
I
yeah,
just started Good Place yesterday, and it's actually pretty funny. So
yeah,
Mm.
I'm
yeah,
surprised at that.
yeah.
But
Uh-huh.
yeah, man. Like I was outside of Kang scenes, which I thought were all really, really well crafted. Because man,
Hmm.
like every time he started ranting, I was just like, more,
Yeah.
more. But like outside of his scenes, I didn't really like much that happened. Like
Mm.
MODOK, I hated. Uh, Ant-Man, I mean,
Yeah.
his he was okay. He did what he was supposed to do. Like he was Paul Rudd, so I mean, for most people that's acceptable. For me, it's like nails on a chalkboard.
Mm.
Um, the like the daughter was okay. I wanted them to do more with building her up as her own individual hero.
Hmm.
But I mean, she really just felt like she was just an additive onto her dad all movie.
She's there to be Ant-Man's daughter for the most
Right.
part. Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Um, Hope. I don't remember more than what did she say in that movie, right? Like,
Mom, what happened, Mom? And Mom, nothing. I'll tell you later.
I asked, Mom, I asked what happened, and you didn't tell me. You felt so distant. And then she didn't have any lines until what, like the third act of the movie, it felt like.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Well, she's had little stuff here and there.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, yeah, I mean,
yeah, but like
I'm not
nothing
going to
substantial.
discredit her that much. I mean, she was there, but like, it wasn't impactful dialogue. Like, she didn't do anything to
Mhm.
like put her stamp on yes
Mhm.
as the Wasp I am in the movie. Besides when she just popped up at the end to fuck up the ending. But we'll get to there. I'm good. To
Again,
mess up the ending. To mess up the ending. 12 minutes and 20 seconds. That's when that one happened.
Timestamp. All right, let me get my
Yeah.
notepad so I can
he
take
keeps
these
forgetting
notes
what
down.
podcast this is, man. This is crazy.
Yeah, because
Be having to reel
I'm
them back
really
in sometimes. Got to reel them back in
I'm sorry.
sometimes.
This particular movie I'm really passionate about because I wanted more from it and it didn't give me what I wanted. We'll go, but yeah, I'll stop the rant there. We'll get to the end when we get there. We'll get to the end.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of different takes on this film. And I mean, I'm still excited for everything Kang's gonna do in like the future films too. Like when I saw
Mhm.
his performance at the ending episodes of Loki, I was like, oh, this man is about to do what? Like you got all these different variations of yourself, like, and it's not like Jonathan Majors and then like an alligator, right? It's gonna be Jonathan Majors in a bunch of different forms.
Mhm.
So yeah, no, so I'm definitely hyped for it. And quick spoiler, I mean, should we do, I don't know if we could talk spoilers. I mean, at this point, uh okay, well, you know, just like a quick, 10-second joint, just skip 10 seconds ahead. All right, 5, 4,
Spoiler alert.
3, 2, 1. When at the for the end credit scene, when homie came out and it had the pharaoh joint around his head, I was like, oh, somebody been paying
Ramatut.
attention.
Yeah,
Somebody
Mhm.
yeah,
been paying
yeah,
attention. So like
yeah.
I'm wondering, was that part of the comics at all, or was that like
Yes.
there was? Okay,
So
gotcha.
recently they revamped his origin and tied him into the origins of the character Apocalypse from X-Men as well,
Okay.
where they kind of had it to where he went back into ancient Egypt times to manipulate Apocalypse into doing his bidding.
Mm.
Apocalypse then rebels,
Mhm.
fights back on him, whatever. But that's how that whole thing. So that's my guess for how mutants are introduced through that
Mm.
character, because they introduce it depends, because I know they base a
Okay.
lot of the MCU previously on the Ultimate Universe. So I don't know
Right.
what comics they're trying to pull from for different stuff.
Interesting. Yeah, when it comes to X-Men, you can do a lot of different things. So you never know
Mhm.
what they're gonna do for that. But yeah, no, that's fire. That's fire. Speaking of previous iterations of movies, I sat down, I watched Fantastic Four, like
Which one?
Which
the
one?
remake with the I'm sorry. The one with why am I forgetting? Michael B.
Michael
Jordan.
B. Oh
Yeah.
God,
Oof, oof.
I'm
I
sorry.
did it out of curiosity. I was just like, you know what, it's here. I ain't got nothing else to do. Let me just take a look at this. And wow, I was like, no wonder everybody trashed this movie. I was like, yo, I didn't know it was this bad, because like it had an okay start. Then I'm just like, word?
So the issue with that movie
Why is
is
Thing
like
naked?
the
Why?
actual cast themselves were only fully present for like a day, and the rest of it was just Miles Teller by himself recording.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Just like no on-screen chemistry. Just
they weren't actually they
yeah.
literally weren't there. They were CG'd in because they got the rocks for the thing. You got
Uh,
the flames for Michael B. Like a
uh
lot of it was voice actor work,
that's
and
insane.
Mm.
Wow.
it
And
just
bad
didn't come
editing.
out. Yeah. Oh God.
Terrible editing. All right. Well, let's jump on that for a bit because since we are the show on Afrofuturism, and with Charlie being not a special effects expert, but special effects.
Say amateur. We'll say
Yeah.
amateur.
All right, amateur. Let's go with that. I mean, amateurs. Hey, listen. Uh, Michael Jordan was an amateur at some point. You know what I mean? He's got a movie coming out too. Well, not really him, but the guy who did the shoes, and we didn't even
Mm.
see a picture of Michael
Oh,
Jordan in
wow.
that film. But
Tinker
whatever.
Hatfield, I think is what his name is.
No, it's no, it's somebody more famous. It's wait, oh, that's the name. That's the guy's name.
Yeah, the guy that created
Okay,
the
got you,
shoes.
got you. Word. But when it comes to like having the right special effects, and we want to talk Afrofuturist, how do you think that films are gonna be like? How do we stop? How does the industry stop films from doing subpar work like what you saw on Ant-Man? Like, what does it take for that to happen?
Attention to detail. I
Mm,
think you need a director or people that are in charge of that stuff that
mm,
has the vision and can accurately articulate the vision that they want. And I
mm-hmm,
think the prime example being someone like Ryan Coogler, where with the Black Panther stuff, that's probably the pinnacle of Afro centralism. Like, say
mm,
what you want about the quality of the movies themselves, but Wakanda always looks amazing. It looks like its own lived-in country with people around it, and
mm,
I think a lot of that has to do with the way that Coogler directs stuff. Now, again, that could be a lot of the director cinematography
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and all that stuff. But I'd like to think that the director has a good part of directing what he wants and his vision for it.
Got you. All right. No, that's fair. And with a big budget like Marvel or DC, like there shouldn't really be any excuse for like any oversight in the special effects. So, do y'all notice like other movies outside of those two companies, those special effects are point on, or do you think that the whole industry is kind of having these oversights that they're affected by?
No, I mean, it's only when you're doing this level of ambitious cinematography to that you really run into that issue. Like
Mm-hmm.
most films aren't trying to have like another world, a different planet, different
Mm-hmm.
species
Mm-hmm.
all on screen at the same time trying to
Okay.
do 40 different things.
Heard.
Like I
Heard.
mean, a movie where I feel like they really paid attention to the detail to making sure that the practical effects of the CG went really well is The Gray Man.
Mm-hmm.
Like those, though, a lot of those scenes were really, really well done,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm.
that's because of the attention to detail you got from the Rousseau brothers, who did Infinity War, they did Endgame, they did Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Right.
So I mean, so yeah, it gets going back to what Charlie said is just having the team that's going to be there that's going to nitpick to the degree where you're going to make it as good as possible, as opposed to just kind of rushing them out, and then also outsourcing to companies overseas that aren't as familiar with what you're trying to build.
Mm-hmm.
If they put that money into people that are familiar with the actual war, what they're trying to build aesthetically, I feel like you're getting a better result there too.
Mm. And also, I'll get into the bag of an over reliance on CGI. I'm gonna
Mm.
sound like an old head with it, but the reason this movie had so many difficulties when it came to that is because it was 90% CGI, and that is incredibly difficult to do and organize that. Like, just me going to make like a regular stick man on like Adobe After Effects takes hours to do. So I can't imagine you building an entire world
Yeah.
and making that world consistent for like a 2 hour long movie.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why someone like you said, like I said earlier with the Russo brothers, a lot of their films they use majority practical effects and they use the CGI to enhance that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Another industry you see that do like usually they to me the best is in horror. Like at least depending on at least it depends on the director, but for
Mm-hmm.
most horror, a lot of the people that are fans of the OG stuff, they use majority practical effects, which is why stuff looks so
Yeah.
visceral and looks so realistic. And
Yeah.
they'll maybe use CGI to like add in a couple blood spurts or something here and there to make that
Mm-hmm.
stuff look more visceral.
Mm-hmm. Fair assessment, fair assessment. All right, dope, dope, dope. It's good
Mm.
to know. Yeah, I think that a lot of people who make films listen to the podcast or at least tune into what we're doing. So, and we want to get more involved with people like that. You know, especially if we're going to be talking to uh students at college. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
got a couple things lined up. So, well, since I brought it up, let's talk about it a little bit. So. Next month, the 25th, we'll be at Villa Maria College. Villa Maria is a private college here in Buffalo, New York. A lot of the students, a lot of the programming is around like fine arts and digital arts as well. So music production, game design, animation, those types of things are at this college. And so we went to their VillaCon last year and had a table set up, got to meet some of the students, got to meet some of the staff. They were all like really hyped to see us. And the school itself borders the east side of Buffalo, which is known for having a mostly black, almost 90% black area. So the school is right there in that neighborhood. But there's a bit of a divide. So, but a lot of the students who are in that neighborhood, if they are inclined to pursue animation or music production, they can definitely go there. I mean, if they got the private school money for it, by all means, go for it. Which is the kind of also a challenge, but they're definitely wanting to make sure the students who are able to get into that into the school have particular connections to the community and what's going on, and so that they can use their talent and skill more efficiently. So, so this year for VillaCon, the Galactic Tribe is going to have our own room. So a day long of different panels from like 10 o'clock to maybe 5 or 6 o'clock. We're going to be running program out that room. So yeah, I'm hyped for that. And from what I heard, our homie Charlie is going to find a way up here, huh?
Yeah, we'll make it away, man. Trying to help create dope stuff if possible.
Word. Word up. Word up. Yeah, we'll be glad to
Yeah.
have you.
Go back to Villa Maria. Like, I mean, their facilities are definitely state of the art. I sent Charlie a few videos of what it looks like that we're going to be around in there. I mean, the possibilities that they have within their general campus are endless. I think it's a really good place to be to cultivate your talent if you are trying to be a creative. So being able to correspond with them, be to make some content, and then also just knowing that the whole convention itself was from a student, like it's from the brainchild of a student that went there, and the school actually is putting effort and money behind that. That's something that's unique to that college, because I mean I can't think of too many colleges you can go to like and pitch an idea and they do it.
Most of them are money hungry, and trust me, if I know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, for sure. Yeah. Did you have an experience like that where the college was about the money first and students second or last?
Yes, I've worked at multiple colleges without giving out names. I worked at multiple colleges now, and working within and being familiar with the upper levels of stuff. Most of the issues that schools have, especially private institutions, is that the people in the higher ups are cutting corners either to line their own pockets or put money towards particular places that they favor. So the fact they're putting money behind an actual student with this vision means that they care about their student body.
Yeah, absolutely. And they have students on a bit, well, not on the advisory board, but consulting with the advisory board. And yeah, I mean the first year the first year they had it, which was last year, they had it completely free, and people showed up. It was a good turnout. They had bunch of artist tables, bunch of vendor tables. I think the vendor tables may have been free. If not, there might have been a price associated with that. They had video game tournaments going on. The students themselves, they had like a little boba tea bar going on. So that was pretty cool. And this is before they even got the upgrade that you saw, LV. They had this is before they renovated their entire cafeteria and their game design room. So yeah, they got some upgrades in there and it's looking real nice in there. So you can tell they definitely care about the students. So I think we just have a wonderful opportunity to build stuff with them. So on this agenda we got, we're definitely going to talk about Afrofuturism. I think it's going to be one of the first panels that we have. We're going to bring in some virtual guests throughout the day and do some game stuff like some board games. Also the game, the Black Card game, which is we're going to look at a bunch of different fictional, mostly animated characters to see, which ones got their black card or not. I think that's going to be a hilarious conversation to have.
Yeah, you better have my boy in it.
You already know. You already know Piccolo going in there.
Big Green. Big Green.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about it, man. 'Cause, I mean, where did that go? No, we're not gonna do it here.
I don't know.
Strong black man raising other people's kids. Got the best skits on the show. Keeps his turban on. Drinks water and minds his own business.
Right. He probably prays 5 times a day too. That's what he be doing when he meditate.
To himself, because he's a god.
Oh man, yeah, I think it's gonna be a really fun game.
So was he a demon or no? We'll get into that more at VillaCon 2020.
I never heard of
they like to pattern us out as we're demons, even though we're coming from a higher place with a higher mindset, my brother. Come on now. Don't let the man brainwash you like that.
I don't know if he even self-identified as a demon.
We'll have the Kofi hat ready for you when you get out here, bro.
We're never demons, my brother.
Oh man, but yeah, so that's gonna be a really fun conversation. Any other nominees for that conversation besides Piccolo? I know Skeeter. Yeah, we all said at the same time. Other Green.
Who else we
people gonna say the Uchiha, but black folks don't take that many L's like that.
Oh man, yeah, well, I gotta think about that one.
I mean, I gotta think of some edgy ones.
And sometimes the voice of the character might be black too, so sometimes we associate it with that too. I'm sure
with that, we know Goliath from
Goliath. Oh yeah.
Come on now. I mean,
you don't count Groot in there? He's technically black.
You said Groot?
Yeah, he's technically black.
I haven't heard that one.
I mean, Vin Diesel's black.
Yo.
Yo, I mean Gamora for sure is obviously in there.
Yeah, Gamora. Well, I got some things about Zoe's out there.
I've heard some stuff about her. I don't know the details, but I've heard.
I don't have any details either, but all I know is what I see, and every time I see her on screen, she's the opposite of white love interest. So that's kind of my thing.
Is that her decision though?
Maybe. seems to be a pattern. Happened, yeah, like 20 years ago, bro. Like, what are we talking about? She's been in 17 movies since then, and that was like one of her debut roles too. So
she's getting that money, man. She about I think she's like Sam Jackson. She ain't gonna turn down the role.
I ain't mad at her. I'm just saying I know this certain pattern.
$3 billion movies. She did what she had to do.
Mm-hmm. I ain't mad at it. Again, I ain't mad at it. I'm just saying I noticed a pattern. I'm still gonna see them movies. I'm just saying that there seems to be a pattern.
Fair enough.
But it doesn't mean Gamora you can't count her as black though. You know what I'm saying? She looks great as Gamora. And she even looks great as what's the Na'vi, her warrior name in Avatar.
I ain't seen that movie in years.
I forgot her name.
Neytiri.
Is it Neytiri?
That sounds familiar. That sounds
right.
That sounds right, doesn't it? They all had some alien ethnic names in there.
Alien ethnic is crazy. Alien ethnic.
Oh man, but yeah, that's gonna be a really fun conversation. I'm hyped for that. We're also gonna do some board games. I got the Wakanda Forever board game, and C Diesel. I don't know if you ever played. When's the last time you played a board game? But this Wakanda joint, we had a lot of fun with it. Me and LV and our ladies, we played the after seeing Ant-Man, or sorry, KANG-Mania, and yeah, we had fun playing it.
No, it's a fun game.
My girl B does with you. You know she a good time. It's my dog.
Oh, word.
She's gonna have hands for you. You do know that.
Oh
yeah, I'm fast though.
Yeah, man. Oh boy, let me find out. But yeah, this board game, basically what it is you have the villains in the middle. Every person who's playing represents a different tribe, and so you got vibranium that you can mine from the Great Mound, and that your amount of vibranium gauges how many dice you can roll. And you roll the dice to attack the villain and collect vibranium. So depending on how the dice roll, you either do damage to the villain, you collect vibranium, or you roll a blank and you get nothing. So it's like a mixture of those dynamics. And whoever knocks out the villain, the fun thing about it is one of the teammate people playing is the Black Panther, and the Black Panther gets an extra roll of dice because he has the Dora Milaje. That's like the Dora Milaje dice. But if the villain gets knocked out, the power goes to the Black Panther, and so each villain card has like their own special ability. Like you get to roll an extra dice, or you get to collect extra vibranium, or the person to the left of you can't collect as much vibranium. Like that's a whole bunch of different rules to it, but it's not too hard to follow. Like once you start playing it, like it gets a lot easier. So I think that if we can reproduce that game structure, but like for a crowd of people, like each crowd or each division of the crowd can be a different tribe and they can like talk to each other to decide how to roll, I think that'd be pretty fun.
I think
Yeah.
that'd be
I'm
dope.
down
I
for
think we
that.
could do that.
Mhm.
But are you rigging it again, or like is Kayla not playing again? So
Yeah. Listen, man. Nah, I felt betrayed. If anybody felt betrayed, I felt betrayed because I was like, wait a minute, how are you winning this much? You're not even gonna let your man be Black Panther once? Like, what's going on here? Like, and I've played maybe 10 games, a variety of ways, 10 rounds of the Black Panther game. Never have I seen somebody go undefeated. Like she was Black Panther the entire time. So what you do see is when you want to at the end of each round, if the villain isn't defeated, everybody gets to decide if they're going to yield to the Black Panther or challenge the Black Panther. And so when that happens, they do the whole vibranium thing. They roll the dice. Whoever rolls the highest gets to be the Black Panther. And so Kayla might have gotten challenged like 6 or 7 times, and each time she kept the Black Panther fam. And it's like I've seen people roll all blanks. I've seen people roll like if they have 4 dice, I've seen people roll all blanks. I've seen a lot of different crazy things, but I've never seen somebody be Black Panther the entire game.
Yeah, I've been talking that talk. I've been talking that talk. If I got it that many times,
oh man, yeah, no.
If she was me,
If she had
4
half of my ego, she would have
straight
been.
rounds, bro. 4 straight rounds. I maxed out my vibranium
Yo.
and attacked her, and every time she bet less vibranium and still won.
Bro,
Like
them dice do not play. Like them dice actually are imbued with the energy of Bast because she gonna choose who she wants to win before the game even happens, and there's just no way to roll against it. So
leaving
yeah.
the heart of that vibranium.
Yeah, man. So that's gonna be a fun time. There was another great idea I had. I can't think of it right. Oh yeah, we're gonna build our own, pretty much our own Wakanda. And so we're gonna have like a real talk about what types of things we need to structure our own Wakanda. Everything from how the buildings look to how we build in the Black Panther. What type of materials are we using? Are we gonna have a Black Panther? How is he gonna be challenged? How are they gonna be challenged? And yeah, I don't know if you ever seen like how to build a bat suit. Like there's like a thing out there, like how much money it would take to build a bat suit. We're gonna try to do the same thing for some Black Panther armor.
Oh
you know
God.
what I mean? Yes, it's going down. It's going down. And then we want people to like, research, this image, see what you can find, send it to our thing, and maybe we can do some not CGI, some AI art around it or something like that. So yeah, I'm excited for that one too. I think it's gonna be a good conversation.
yeah, absolutely. I'm sure we'll do like a AI art display in there somewhere because that went really well. People have been enjoying that, so we'll do some more with that. And of course, probably do some programming on writing. I'm sure in there too because always been trying to inspire the kids to write more content to get more stories from people that look like us out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think if you want to run that, run the whole panel, bro. Like 7:45 to an hour. Just let's do that for sure. Absolutely. So C Diesel, how's this all sound to you? Sounds
like a plan, my man.
the place
like
you want to be. Say less, man. It's going down. I can't wait. Yeah, y'all. So if you live in the Buffalo area, March 25th, the day before yours truly, my birthday is the 26th. So that's gonna just be a real fun weekend for me personally. But the 25th, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. for VillaCon. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be a dope time.
And also, shout out to C Saint. I don't think we're gonna be able to catch his match because it's at 4:30.
I think he's the main. He's the main title. I believe
he'll be the last one.
It's probably I gotta look at the message again, but I think he'll be one of the last ones. So if we leave at no one like the trajectory of how these battles be going, man, they be running CPT hard. So I think we're gonna get there just in time, if not like even a few rounds before he goes on. So they'll open the doors at like 3:30, but people are gonna show up to like 4, 5, and then they won't get started till like 5:36, and so we shall see.
So extend the night, March 25th. You want to see a rap battle?
Oh,
Yes.
snap. Okay, we talking about. I thought it was like a boxing match. We talking about a rap
Oh,
battle.
that would. I mean, it is in a sense. It's just with
Lyrically.
words. And lyrically, man, listen. My man said, I'm trying to think of lines I could say without cursing, but yeah, yo, I don't know. See, Diesel, do you watch battles at all?
I'll see clips here and there, but the ones I watch be disrespectful. I ain't gonna lie to you. They
Oh,
are
yeah.
very, very much so. Like the Chicago, maybe not Chicago. I don't know if all these is from Chicago. I know a good bit of them are. Battle
Chicago,
rap team.
Philly, Detroit. It's a lot of big scenes.
Dude's grimy, boy.
He said, I'm articulate. He said, you didn't get it. I'm Arctic, you late. What did he say?
Yeah, he said,
slow it down.
No, he sang that bars though. I'll give him his credit. So I'm looking forward to seeing what it looked like live in person. Because you said you've been there a couple times for him, right?
Oh yeah, myself. Yeah. Nah, I've seen 5 of his battles live. He's battled in Detroit. He's battled in New York City. Battled all over Buffalo. I think I've seen maybe 80% of his battles in person, but I usually go back and I watch them. And he's been climbing up that ladder, yo, just knocking people off. Like a lot of them haven't even been like a competition. Like it's been pretty interesting to see. So shout out to the Sips Tea podcast. If you like podcasts, you like where people don't give a F about whatever they say, whatever comes out their mouths, go to the Sips Tea podcast. But the ATO that y'all see on there is different from the one here. That's just a weird twin. I don't know. My dad was messing around. 1991 was a crazy time. So that's who that is. So yeah.
That is hilarious.
2 different people. Sorry, it's 2 different dimensions, 2 different everything.
It's the variant. There we go.
Yeah,
right.
It's my variant messing around, trying to ruin my reputation with the things he says. Yeah.
No, but speaking of variants, man, how did y'all feel about the ending of this KANG-Mania? I need to know. I need to know if y'all felt like it was supposed to go the way that they showed, or do you think there was another ending there?
Yeah, the ending was a culmination of all the things that, at least personally, I saw wrong with it. Was the edit, the writing, because the acting to me wasn't that bad for the ending. Like the way they went through it, it was just like you could, again, like you said, you could tell that didn't end the way it was supposed to end, and the edits were not smooth, and they just kind of added stuff in to make it work. Like this movie, it felt like this is the last thing that Feige saw before he was like, "Yeah, we taking a break from all this. Go ahead, get it out of there, but everything else, we putting this on pause. We can't be doing this."
Yeah, I feel that. I feel like the ending was all right. You know, are we talking about the end credit scenes or just like the ending
before the end credits?
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, where he's like freaking out that he didn't actually stop anything. He might have unleashed a horrible menace on.
Before that, like when the last like climactic fight battle.
Oh, okay, got you.
That part I thought was funny. Yeah, I like that part.
Yeah. That rant made the ending almost acceptable because that was funny. I'll give him credit. But
yeah. No, I like the end fights. He was giving them the hands. Like it wasn't even laser beams or whatever. And my man was just straight meek. Like he was piecing him out. Like I'm like, yo, yeah, he's piecing them up real good. So I really enjoyed that. I mean, the way they kind of knocked them back felt kind of cheesy or like, oh, that's kind of whatever. But yeah, I ain't mad at it. It is what it is.
Oh, okay, so I guess it's just me that's outraged because
he said outraged.
First of all, in the trailer,
here comes another F-bomb.
There's no F-bomb, no F-bomb. In the trailer, they say the best line of the movie, which is, "I don't have to win. I just have to make sure we both lose." And that implies that both of them lose, right?
Or at least he was gonna do something to make them both lose, and but
the fact that they just magically spring Wasp coming in to now they overpowering Kang, who was literally stomping his face in, right? Like it literally, like it was on the floor, broken. Like that happened.
Oh, yeah.
And somehow you just automatically, oh, now we're better. Yay.
I mean,
yeah, the scaling on that was a little
that
crazy.
Part sort of made sense for the fact that majority of Ant-Man's powers are hand to hand, and he's not beating him hand to hand. Wasp was just like she hit him with the blicky from. She was like, "She's like, you think I'm throwing hands with you? No, I got these straps on me." And his
I
armor was
have
broken too at that
telekinetically
point.
slamming people around half the movie.
But his armor was broken though at that point. Like he was missing
True,
the whole arm.
true.
Like the ants tore him up. That's
Mhm.
why he was
He
giving
did
him
it
the
with
hands.
both hands, though. He had one hand levitating people and another one too. He could have used the non-broke arm to smack, and then
Well, I think that's consistent because if he did have the ability to do that, I think he would have done that instead of piecing him up hand by hand. Like he would have
just wanted to do that to make me happy. I feel like he tapped into my brain and knew I wanted to see Ant-Man get beat, and like he just like, yeah, I got to do this for O. And then they just said, no, we can't let O be happy and let him win like he's supposed to, because he's a stronger person. He's supposed to win the fight. But hey, what do I know?
David beat Goliath.
And also, yeah, no, I mean they're bringing Kang back too in like a variety of ways. So it's like, yeah, this one is a little bit expendable. So we'll let this one go out. But the next 20 are, I don't know, man. I don't know what to expect. I don't know if they're all gonna attack together. I don't know if it's gonna be like 5 main ones and then like, seen the whole Coliseum full of Jonathan Majors. That was hilarious to me. And the one was just like, yeah, like he was excited to take over the multiverse. Like, he's been waiting for this.
Every type of version of him, because you got the typical comic Kang all the way down to Pharaoh Kang. So I mean,
he better get into his Eddie Murphy bag.
But I do slightly fear that they might like make people exhausted of him though, just because I mean we know he's going to be in the Loki season 2 series.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting Quantumania. Not Quantumania. We're getting
Kang Dynasty.
Kang Dynasty. Dynasty. And Secret Wars comes out exactly a year after that, so I don't know how you resolve him in a single movie for him to not be in Secret Wars. So I mean, I hope they don't give us that, just because I enjoy John Majors in that so much. But I do fear that they might like have like the bad horror movie effect where you just show the villain so many times you become numb to him.
Man, at this point, I had time to think about it. I unless this stuff gets like egregiously bad, I don't think they care. As long as they're making the money from the casual fan. Because I'm looking at all these franchises that came back that were really like every Michael Bay movie ever made outside of the first Transformers was really bad, and they still make box office money.
Still,
like all the like pretty much majority of this phase is pretty mediocre and kind of rushed. Still made decent money and garnered a lot of attention, memes everywhere. DC, even in their bad streak when they were doing horrible, still garnered attention, still making money on certain movies. I think literally as long as you get to the point where it's watchable and you can appease the casual fan, and I think that just mathematically comes to the fact there are more casual fans than there are people like us that are more focused on if do narratives make sense, do the details add up, like does A plus B equals C. Like there's more of the casual people that just want to see stuff blow up and see fight scenes and music. There's more of them. So as long as you appease them, I don't think these studios really care. Now they can do both because you have somebody like a James Gunn or a Coogler who cares and wants the attention to detail. Then you get that happy medium where you get both. But if they just making money, I don't think they'll care. I think it's going to keep giving us more of what we get until you get somebody that cares about the stuff in charge.
Excuse me. Yeah, fair assessment. And speaking of casual fans, like, I lost it.
There's nothing wrong being a casual fan.
Yeah, no, not at all. Yeah, no, there was something else I was gonna. Oh, I just wonder if like the whole multiversal thing is gonna be tripping people up because of just like the average person. I don't know if they actually understand multiverse stuff. I mean, even for people who are been born into it, like trying to understand like how the multiverse works and like how each entity has like their own rules for how it functions and everything. It might start tripping up a lot of those general fans, and they're just gonna be like, what, so yeah,
right. Yeah, especially with the fact that they are like having a mix of like regular, live action universes, animated universes, and everything else in between. Like, I mean, you got a little taste of it with Multiverse of Madness when Doctor Strange and America Forever are flying through universes and seeing all different types of versions.
Yeah, America Forever.
Almost all. I did say America Forever. America Forever. She's an actress on a bunch of stuff. But yeah, America Chavez. they're floating through dimensions, and pretty much all of those dimensions that they floated through are breadcrumbs to other content that Disney's planning on making. It's like for a regular person that has never like picked up a comic to follow all of that, it is going to be a little bit difficult. At least I feel it might be.
I don't think they care about following it. It's just entertaining. Because you look at something like Spider-Man, like Into the Spider-Verse, like they are literally in different dimensions and have the most eclectic collection of Spider-Man characters that outside of noir, and I don't even think that many people know about Spider-Gwen before that movie. So people still watched it. It's still one of the higher grossing movies as long as it's entertaining. I don't think people care.
It was a nice introductory course into how the multiverse works. Like people exist on the other side, but once one person's dead in one universe, they're dead in that universe, but there's other versions of them. And if you see a character that dies and they don't come back, like Scarlet Johansson, Black Widow, and you're wondering, oh, why don't they bring her back? It's not that they can't bring her back. They just got to go find another one, and that takes a little bit of work. and that other thing, which is well, this is a podcast. Charlie just rubbed his fingers together because you need some money to keep people on board. So that might be the other case.
You also have to unmake Scarlett Johansson really mad and get her to come back somehow. And I don't
money
know.
Heals all, money heals all wounds. The main thing was what they chipped her on her money. They're like, if you give her the right bag, I think she'll come back.
Real stuff. That's the industry.
Also, I think people are forgetting as far as to give some kind of bright light on the Kang stuff. Coogler is in charge of Kang Dynasty in, I think, Secret Wars.
Word?
Like, yeah, you guys remember that when they announced that a while back, like a couple months ago?
I forgot. I've heard so many announcements since then.
Who was directing it?
Oh, that's gonna be crazy. Oh yeah, I'm excited for that. I think that he and Jonathan Majors are gonna have great chemistry, directorially, whatever the word is. Like I think that what they're gonna bring to the set is gonna be amazing.
I also believe that they're gonna bring Michael B. S. back at some point. Like they already teased Black Panther, Coogler's directing this stuff, and you got after Creed 3, after that does crazy because I know that's gonna be good. I'm like, you gotta bring him back to some extent. I don't know how.
Well, Coogler, I don't think he's part of BP3.
He's not. That could be Jordan. I'm saying with the fact that they work so much together, and now about to start working with Jonathan Majors a lot too. Full circle. Personally, that's my theory.
Yeah, I mean, we know What If is also a main part of the universe too. So I mean, they might use that version of him that was in the first season of that, incorporate him back into the universe. They can go the multiversal effect. I mean, there's so many different ways.
Yeah, nothing's off the table for the most part. So nothing's off the table, but there are some things that I want to be more on the table. Like speaking of the endings of KANG-Mania, the fact that all 4 parents got to survive, like nobody, none of the main, like all y'all get to make it. That's wild because just 4 months ago, y'all took away one of the most important characters to y'all entire franchise, which was Queen Ramona and Angela Bassett. And on the movie that was supposed to be about grieving one person who passed away in real life, y'all threw this at us too. So it's
didn't she get the only like actual actor related Oscar?
That's what
for
I'm saying.
MCU movie. Period.
She could have,
Period.
She could have got that without dying. Like, and if anybody in the entire franchise was gonna do it, it was gonna be Angela Bassett. And yet, and still, they like killed her off. And even though we're talking about multiversals and other versions and all that, and Wakanda having it's the Jalia, which is the astral plane, and that coming back through that, still for the average person, the casual person going to see this film, they're not taking all that into account. At least to me, they're not. Right. So it's like you still just killed off a Black woman unnecessarily. You could have put her in a coma, and I think Shuri would have still been mad, or whatever the heck else. But
to play devil's advocate, though, I don't think it would have had the same impact on a movie front. Like for me personally, when I saw that she was dead and gone, that impacted me as a viewer a lot more heavily than a coma would. Because if she's in a coma, I'm like, she's coming back at some point. So it would have felt like you were kind of just doing it just to do it. Kind of like when somebody gets knocked out and you think they're dead and they come back later on in the fight. The fact that she was dead and gone, the same way it affected with T'Challa died. Whenever somebody dies, I think you don't get that sense of finality and them being, and it's more impactful. I think that shows the quality of that movie versus this movie where nobody died, because everybody got away with no consequences at all. This one,
Yeah,
stuff
they both
happened.
ended terribly.
People died.
So what if she would
Second
have
one,
died
terrible.
like after being drowned? She would have like
Go back
died
to
and
two
then
is
she
terrible.
came back.
I said they both ended terribly. The ending from the 2 is pretty. It's pretty bad.
What if she would have like just died in that one instance and you thought she was dead, and at the end it's like, oh, I had a Komoyo beat, I was breathing under. You just need a conviction. I'm just saying, if she would have, I feel like that would have been better than just like gone. So, but yeah, I mean that's
other black characters. We got like that's a whole country full of. Let's bring more black characters in.
We ain't got enough. We gotta keep. So we gotta work forward, not backwards. That's what I'm trying to get. But no, I feel. I understand what you're saying.
If you have a person that gave you your only Oscar, period, after 20 plus movies, you'll probably keep that person around. That's just my take on that. But like,
I don't think she gets the Oscar unless she dies in that movie. Because that like
did
her
you not
death
see the
was.
beginning?
Yeah, I saw the beginning.
She had a float.
Right.
She had to float. That was her act. That was her death scene, floating.
Right. But the fact that she sacrificed herself to get that, she did well at the beginning, but I think her death was like the big climax, impactful moment of that. To me personally, viewing her, like her death meant a lot to me in that. Like I felt more for her death than any other character in the MCU, including Tony Stark.
I feel that
it meant something to me.
Mm-hmm. I understand.
But you already had T'Challa die. And T'Challa dad died.
You didn't do that on purpose, though.
They did that to his dad on purpose.
Yeah, to his dad. Yeah, and that was impactful, right? Like for me, at least, when I saw that happen, I was like, "Dang, that's." And we didn't even see him for that long, and it meant a lot. Whenever somebody dies and stays dead, that is impactful, and it means a lot.
But
and
it should
like death shouldn't be anything
taken lightly. I'm not gonna go there.
Yeah, I think that I still, even with that all said, even like if I finally have the space to be settled with Queen Ramonda's death, I still feel like Marvel's missing out on the whole family structure as far as black families go. It seems like every black character, male or female, doesn't have even like a love interest to like really build something off of. That's like my major problem with everything. Like with Black Panther, T'Challa and Nakia, that couldn't be a thing. It was a thing at the end, and then now it's not. And then Queen Ramonda lost her husband. Shuri, nobody. Okoye, husband's in jail. Like, a lot of the main characters. M'Baku doesn't have a mate at all. And then if we go outside of that, Falcon, Falcon's not having anybody. Blade don't care. You said what?
Like, who has a happy relationship in the MCU outside of like Ant-Man?
Everybody else did. Cap did. Thor did.
Cap literally died and had to go back in time. I'll give you that. That was a happy ending at the end of the entire franchise. You said who else had one?
Hawkeye.
So Tony. Oh yeah,
Tony.
Hawkeye too.
When did Tony have one?
Him and Pepper. And then
they break.
They were getting it together.
They were together and then had a daughter that like gave like one of the most impactful scenes in all of MCU, saying "I love you 3000." Like that.
They were toxic. Like they were toxic through the entire season. Like we're talking about the end.
It was
of
functional.
Like 10 years. They were off and on for the entire 10 years. It wasn't like it wasn't like they got together, had the kid, and stayed together. They were like off and on forever.
That's dysfunctional.
She watched Tony like go around with other women and didn't like that. Then they ended up together. Then they had a kid together, and then they had a time skip. And then she
he said she left her in one of the movies though. Like they weren't together for a significant period of time, and it was like in between that.
Weird.
It was during one of the Avengers movies. I remember he said something about that.
Taking some time off or something like that. Yeah, I remember
they
that.
Went to a break or something. Like
I think it was Civil War when he said that.
Yeah, he just said that because she couldn't cast her for the movie.
Or Winter Soldier. Wow.
Like, outside of Ant-Man, like there's no traditionally like happy family in the MCU.
Hawkeye.
Well, because it depends on how because they don't really show his wife at all, and she's not. Well, she was a SHIELD agent.
She was all through this series she just had.
Yeah, she was for like after how she's been around for how long? And she finally got.
She was in Ultron. Like, that's when we first got introduced to her. That was the second Avengers movie. That was his second movie that he was in.
She got 4 30-second lines in the series.
You said happy relationship.
I mean, I get. Like we talk about like black like family structures displayed on screen. So we're talking about one out of how many relationships are hyped up romantical encounters out of an entire universe. We have one.
We said 2 because we said Cap, then we
Okay.
said Tony, and then we said Hawkeye. So that's 3 now.
I'm not counting Tony because they weren't together. I'm not. I'll give you those two out of like what 40 people.
I mean, technically, Ant-Man counts for 2 because it's Hope and what's his name?
Reed, not Reed. I almost said Reed Richards. Hank Pym.
Hank no, I'm sorry. Yeah. Hank is with Janet. Hank is with
Hank's with Janet,
and then Hope is with Scott. Damn, I couldn't think.
I give you that. I give you that, but that math is really wild though. Like 3 out of like the infinite amount of characters we have with love interest in that whole franchise.
We can get a scoreboard. We gotta get a score.
I mean, 3 that's 3-0.
Everybody's
0.
Everybody's dying or like broken up or like disappearing for years in between.
At least they had somebody at some point.
Somebody at some point, though. We don't have a happy family. If we're talking about like I'm getting way too deep into it, but
it's all good. No, it's all good. No, I mean, we do have one. I think that might be a mixed race family though. Fastest from Eternals, but
Fastos, yeah.
But I mean, no kid is getting a Fastos action figure. I'm just saying.
He was emasculated, right? Right.
Oh man, yeah. So there's a lot of things about the family structures we can talk about, but hopefully, things kind of shape up a little bit with the whole Black Panther thing. I'm excited for it. I really I thought of another potential fan fiction to write, having to do with little Prince T'Challa. Mm-hmm. Even though I wasn't like deeply impacted by that one, because Emmer Efforts ruined it for me before I even got to see it. Like people were already saying, "Oh, he's gonna have a kid," or "He look a little." I ain't mad at young T'Challa. I'm like, why would you post that the day of? Like, why would you? Anyway, yeah, no, I just thought of some stuff I could write for him coming up, like him growing up without a father, but also him growing up in Haiti. I think that he'll have a certain experience that most traditional Wakandas aren't gonna like, because he's growing up outside of Wakanda for the at least in his childhood. But then also he's a part of Haiti, which has gone through their own thing with colonization and all that, like much like the rest of the world. So him having the game, but also the way they fought back. So him having that game along with the traditional Wakanda knowledge, I think they could transform him into a really dope character and somebody who sees the world a little bit differently than the rest of his Wakanda counterparts. But he's also the son of the last king. So
I think that's how they bring Michael B back in the fold. Like have him, like if he gets the powers, like have him like kind of whispering in his ear through the ancestral plane, because they have very similar upbringings as far as being in that area that's impoverished or whatever else.
Yeah.
The devil on the shoulder and the angel on the shoulder being his auntie.
Yeah, or more so Ramonda, if she shows up too, because Ramonda met him also.
Can she be on the ancestral plane though?
That's what I thought. That's what I thought she was gonna do.
Panther, though, right?
You said what?
Only Panthers can be on the ancestral plane though, right?
No, she's in the ancestral plane. She was talking to Shuri at the end of the movie.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think you have to be particularly be a Panther. I mean, an ancestor is an ancestor. So like their Dajalia is made up of people who are just like prominent in royals and all that stuff too. So they might just change it for the movie too, if that is the case. But yeah, so I'm excited in a way. I'm half cup, half full, half empty. Right. That's how I look at things. But yeah, I think that going forward also with the Wakanda Alliance, what we do see Diesel is that we have a writing session called Wakandaverse, where we look at Black Panther media, whether it's a comic or the movie or a scene, and we ask our audience, hey, how would you write this scene, or try to make your own scene, make your own character? How would you change this scene? And we kind of get them into the habit of like, story development. Like if you thought this scene went wrong, you think this part of the movie went wrong, how would you make it right? Or how would you make it fit your perspective? Or if like we're doing our comic, like what would you add to this comic? Or if there's no like source material, like make your own thing from scratch. So that's called Wakandaverse.
Yeah, like improv comedy, or are you giving them time to develop this stuff?
No time. So like we usually just ask them, hey, write down a prompt or a small paragraph on this thing and tell us your thoughts. So we would like to do some acting, some improv at some point too. That would be cool. But it ain't gonna be me to lead that. I can't do no accents. I can only do my own, which is this weird Buffalo Southern influenced.
Buffalo.
Tribe skits coming. We'll get up and works.
Yeah. It's all good. But yeah, Wakandaverse, man, that's gonna be a dope project. I think if we keep that going, we just got funded to do some more writing with young people on that, so that's gonna be cool.
That's dope, man. I love to see young kids get opportunities.
Yeah, man, for sure. So, whenever you come up here, we'll have you. We'll look forward to having you. You'll get to see all the splendor. And, we're also going to start doing more on the virtual side, like making sure that things are recorded properly. I just ordered some new mics, ordered some new stands. So we'll start recording these properly so that other people outside of the Buffalo area can be involved. So it's good stuff.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, that's all from me. Anyone have anything else on the way out?
Man.
How excited are you guys for Creed 3? I know it's not tied to anything that we've talked about, but
I'm really excited. I haven't even seen the first two, but I'm like John Majors and Michael B. Where I gotta see that, man. I gotta see that. I'm gonna have to go watch the first two just so I can know what's going on for this one.
Are the first two streaming anywhere?
I'm gonna find them. Allegedly.
Fair enough.
This is not then and now. We're not doing that.
Yeah. Nah, that's gonna be a dope movie. I'm looking forward to it too. I haven't seen the other two, but I think I'm gonna definitely pop up for number 3.
Yeah, we may or may not find them and have those watched by the time it is out.
Wait, when does it come out? It's the 25th, 24th.
March 20. Is it the 24th? Is that the day?
That's either John Wick or it's Creed 3. Creed 3 might be a little bit closer.
I'll tell you in 1 second.
Speaking of John Wick, I'm mad they just took them off HBO. I was in the middle of number 2 and they just took them off.
Oh no, Creed 3 is streaming next weekend.
Oh really? Oh, that was quick.
Yeah,
going straight to streaming.
We're not streaming, but it's gonna be out in the theaters next weekend. I don't know why I said streaming. I'm sorry.
I might have watched 2 movies in a week. That's crazy. Okay.
Word up. All right. Well, that's out. Moon Girl's also out. I just checked that out the night before last. That was pretty entertaining. I like that.
I'm excited for that one.
Yeah.
Is it on Disney Plus yet, or is it still
only on? They've got 6 episodes on Disney Plus.
Oh, watching that tonight.
Yeah. Just to talk about that real quick, it's just, I feel like this is the closest thing they've had to Static Shock since Static Shock, as far as black cartoon characters go. It's yeah. So the tone of it is a little bit differently because it's poppy a bit and everything like that. But as far as having famous guest actors like he had with Static Shock, the music, Raphael Sadiq is doing the music, and he's just he's writing the songs and producing. So he's just knocking us out the park. And then plus the family structure there. Moon Girl, she has both her parents and her grandparents in the same house. She's got a Hispanic best friend.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
I've seen that from the trailer.
I mean, are we only talking animated stuff, or can we go to live action as well?
As far as what?
As far as character, black family character.
Oh yeah.
Black Lightning was a thing. It got bad, but
yeah. No, I was talking about animation. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
I mean, they made the mama drug at it.
At the end, though, that was they don't know how to. We know CW doesn't close stuff out well. We know they don't close, but for 4 seasons, they were a happy black family, and all the relatives were around.
They were divorced.
Still a family.
They were together. Yeah, co-parenting. You can't co-parent. And then they got back together. They were divorced, but they were around all the time.
They were separated, but not really separated.
Exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, no, again, seeing Moon Girl definitely reminded me of Static Shock. I think for a lot of young people coming up, that's the closest thing they're gonna have to Static. But they also get Static too, because they got HBO Max. So it's these streaming kids, they're gonna have a taste of whatever they want to as far as consuming certain media.
Just bring back Static.
You just really sold me on that show, just because Raphael Sadiq is one of my personal favorite people in music ever. Yeah. So knowing he's doing that,
Yeah, and I mean, if it was, I just thought about what if Pharrell was a part of it too? That will go insane.
Man.
Yo, what? That would be insane. Pharrell and
we'll say that for the G Tribe anime.
We'll hit him up
on a slight sad tangent, man. It's one thing that made me sad. I really, for years, my childhood, wanted them to get this run back to the Justice League or the DC stuff. Bring Mark. Then when Kevin Conroy passed away, I was like, man, they just are just gonna let this stuff waste away until these actors. And the thing is, Mark and all the other actors have publicly talked about them wanting to come back and do this stuff.
Yeah,
Bruce and all these guys wanted to come back.
wow.
Don't let us lose Phil Lamar before you decide you want to try to
Lord.
come back and I'm not wishing ill, but this is just
right.
I need it because these guys they're not spring chickens and they want to do this. So they want to do it.
Yeah,
they want to.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. We definitely need that. Yeah, Young Justice. Yeah, not Young Justice. Justice League. I just finished watching both Justice League and Unlimited back to back, and that was after I watched Batman the Animated Series. So I was definitely in my nostalgia bag for a good 5 months.
I don't even want Justice League back anymore. Don't do anything animated with Batman anymore because I'm good. I'm good. Do somebody else, Damien or something, or bring Terry back. I don't see anymore. That version of Batman's gone.
Word
for me.
Fair enough. Well, yo, C Diesel, it's been a pleasure having you, brother. Can't wait to chat with you again. Hope you're enjoying the weeks after your birthday. Not weeks. I'm sorry. It's only been like a week, right?
A day.
No.
Snap. My time I've been jumping through universes too much. My bad. Yeah. Well, happy belated birthday yet again,
Appreciate
sir.
That,
so I hope you have a couple days lined up to enjoy yourself.
This many.
Word. 5 it is. One hand. Word. LV, anything on the way out, brother?
No, I'm excited to get to this youth panel Saturday, and then I'm really excited for VillaCon, man.
All right, well, hey, let's do it, man. Keeping the future forward as always, y'all. Follow us on Instagram at Wakanda Alliance, YouTube Wakanda Alliance Program, TikTok Wakanda Alliance. But if you type up Galactic Tribe, we'll pop up there too. Hit our website up, www.thegalactictribe.org, to see what events we have coming up. If you want to support us, there are donation links. If you want to buy a t-shirt, there are also t-shirts at the same address I just gave to you. And if you want to get involved, you want to help volunteer, if you're a person of color and want to help develop our programming, by all means, hit us up directly and we can develop something in the future. So, keeping the future forward. Y'all be well. Y'all be safe. Stay warm if you're in Buffalo or just like any part that gets crazy weather, like somewhere in Montana it's supposed to be negative 24. It's insane out here. We're not out the woods yet. We had a weird earthquake the other day. Just bundle up for this weather. Take care of yourselves. And until next time, we'll see y'all soon. Peace.
Was that earthquake, right?
Yes. And now I gotta edit out that F-bomb because you forgot what show you were on.
Right.
Too many
shows. I'm sorry.
Too many shows. It's all right. No, it's right at the beginning. No, I can take it out. I can take it out. Sorry, we'll come up with like a real funny sound for it. Maybe like a toot or something. Well, now that you know the ground rules,
we could just throw in the sound of M'Baku getting punched by Namor. That's the sound that covers. Yeah.